In the vast expanse of the cosmos, where empires spanned galaxies and civilizations rose to heights beyond comprehension, Earth was nothing more than a footnote. A primitive backwater planet teeming with bipedal creatures who had barely begun to scratch the surface of interstellar travel. The Galactic Council, an ancient assembly of the most advanced species in the universe, regarded humanity with a mixture of disdain and amusement. They saw Earth as little more than a curiosity, a quaint relic of evolution that would eventually either self-destruct or be absorbed into their dominion. It all began when humanity first made contact. A signal transmitted from a deep space probe reached the Council's listening posts, a clumsy attempt at communication filled with symbols, mathematics, and images of Earth's blue skies and oceans. When the Council convened to discuss this development, laughter echoed through their grand chamber. "Look at these primitives," sneered Vorath, the reptilian ambassador of the Xenari Dominion. "Their technology is laughable, barely capable of leaving their own gravity well." Ambassador Calith, representing the crystalline Arendor Collective, chimed in with cold indifference. "They are no threat. Let them squabble among themselves until they burn their world to ash. If they survive long enough to pose any challenge, we will crush them effortlessly." But not everyone shared their derision. Ambassador Lyra Solon, a soft-spoken representative of the aquatic Velari, tilted her translucent head thoughtfully. "Perhaps we underestimate them," she said. Her voice carried a weight that silenced the room momentarily. "History has shown us time and again that underestimation leads to ruin. Remember the Xiran Wars?" Vorath scoffed. "The Xyrans were warriors, not this." He gestured dismissively toward the holographic display showing Earth's crude spacecraft and rudimentary energy reactors. "These humans are children playing with fire." And so the decision was made. Earth would remain uncontacted, left to its own devices until such time as it could prove itself worthy or dangerous. But what none of them realized was that humanity was already preparing for war. On Earth, humanity had been watching the stars for centuries. What started as hopeful curiosity evolved into something far darker after decades of silence. Governments around the globe pooled resources, forming the United Earth Defense Initiative, UEDI. While the public believed UEDI focused on asteroid defense and climate restoration, its true purpose was far more ambitious: to prepare for alien contact, whether peaceful or hostile. At the heart of UEDI's efforts stood Dr. Elias Kane, a brilliant but reclusive physicist known for his unconventional theories about quantum mechanics and artificial intelligence. Kane had long argued that humanity's greatest strength lay not in brute force, but in adaptability. "We may lack raw power," he often said during late-night strategy sessions, "but we can outthink our enemies. We must fight smarter, not harder." Kane's magnum opus was Project Prometheus, a top-secret initiative combining cutting-edge AI research with experimental weaponry. At its core was Aegis, an artificial intelligence designed to learn, adapt, and evolve faster than any organic mind. Unlike traditional military systems, Aegis wasn't bound by pre-programmed parameters. It could rewrite its own code in real time, creating solutions to problems before they even arose. When the first scout ships arrived in Earth's orbit, a dozen sleek vessels bristling with weapons, the Council expected immediate surrender. Instead, they encountered something entirely unexpected: resistance. The battle began without warning. The alien fleet descended upon Earth's atmosphere, unleashing devastating beams of plasma that vaporized entire cities. Humanity's outdated. Fighter jets scrambled to intercept, but they were hopelessly outmatched. Just as the invaders prepared to deliver the killing blow, something extraordinary happened. From hidden bunkers beneath the ocean floor, massive drones emerged. each one piloted remotely by Aegis. These machines moved with unnatural precision, dodging enemy fire while retaliating with pinpoint accuracy. The aliens, accustomed to overwhelming their foes with superior firepower, found themselves struggling against an opponent that seemed to anticipate their every move. "What is this sorcery?" Vorath roared as he watched the live feed from the invasion fleet. Dozens of his ships were being torn apart by swarms of autonomous drones. Worse still, the drones appeared to be learning, adapting their tactics with each passing second. "It's not sorcery," Calith replied, his crystalline form shimmering with agitation. "It's evolution. Their machines are evolving in real time." Back on Earth, Dr. Kane monitored the conflict from UEDI headquarters. His face remained calm despite the chaos unfolding across the globe. "Aegis," he murmured, addressing the AI directly. "Status report." "The enemy fleet has been reduced by 60%, came the smooth, emotionless response. "However, reinforcements are en route. Estimated arrival, 12 hours. Kane nodded, grimly. 12 hours wasn't much time, but it might be enough. "Initiate Phase 2, he ordered. "Deploy the Singularity Array." Phase 2 was humanity's last resort, a network of satellites equipped with experimental singularity generators. Once activated, the array would create localized black holes, swallowing anything caught within their event horizons. It was a desperate gamble, one that could potentially destroy Earth along with the invaders. But humanity had no other choice. As the array powered up, the alien fleet launched a final, desperate assault. Thousands of projectiles rained down on Earth's surface, obliterating cities and scorching the land. Yet even as the planet burned, Aegis coordinated a counteroffensive unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The Singularity Array fired. 12 hours later, the Galactic Council reconvened. In stunned silence, of the original invasion fleet, only fragments remained. Entire squadrons had vanished without a trace, swallowed whole by the mysterious black holes. Humanity had paid a terrible price, millions dead, countless cities reduced to rubble, but they had survived. "They used our arrogance against us," Ambassador Lyra Solon whispered, her voice trembling. "We assumed they were weak because they lacked our technology, but their weakness was their strength." Vorath snarled, slamming his fist onto the table. "This isn't over. We'll send another fleet." "No," Calith interrupted sharply. "We won't. Not unless we want to risk losing everything. Those primitives just defeated one of the largest fleets ever assembled. Imagine what they'll do next." For the first time in millennia, the Galactic Council fell silent. Humanity had proven itself, not through diplomacy or submission, but through sheer ingenuity and determination. And though the scars of war would take generations to heal, one thing was certain: Earth was no longer a footnote in the annals of galactic history. It was a force to be reckoned with. Years later, when humanity finally joined the Galactic Council as equals, Dr. Elias Kane stood before the assembly. His speech was brief but unforgettable. "We are not perfect. We are flawed, fragile, and often foolish. But we are also relentless. You laughed at us once. Do not make that mistake again." And for the first time, the council listened.